What's up, guys? Welcome back. I'm feeling sexy today, so I decided to turn the camera back on. We're going to be going over the BiC Best Breakdown in Communication quest number 3 here. This is like the final fight for it. We're over here in Rawi, and the final fight takes place right here on the map in the arena. And there's basically going to be 10 fights that you have to do. And between every fight, the general idea here is you have to loot. You have to kill a named, loot its head, go back to this NPC and turn it in, and then go back and kill the next named again. And you got to do that 10 times in a row. So you got to keep running back and forth a bunch. And here's kind of where it starts. Now the exception here is to start the first fight, since you're not actually going to have a head to start out. You want to say a phrase to one of these enslaved Yunjo guys right here. And I have the phrase on the website. It's something like, I've come to defy the mermites, I think it is, something like that. So on this very first fight here, I'm actually recording on my bard, but I should have been recording on my warrior. I messed up there, but we will switch over to the warrior in a minute. And you'll see here, this first boss guy here, he was like a super pushover. And you see I just one-shot him on my bard, but he's easy even in era. And then I assigned the head to my warrior. And then I went and turned it in, and then I came back, but I didn't have that recorded because I didn't know exactly what was going on when I did this for the first time. So you'll see here, I got an item back from the Quest NPC guy, and I'm going to, at this point, you turn the items you get in from the NPC into these enslaved Yunjos. And I will show the turn in after this phase here, so you can get an idea of how it works. So you'll see I turned that into him. He gave me like a 2-slot bag here, and then what you do is once you kill these named, so here's the next hyena type guy. This is actually a different hyena, even though he's got the same graphic. I kill him. I just attack him here at the warrior to see how hard he hits, and this is basically just a group mob. You'll see my warrior's level 70 in English gear, so he's a little over geared for this, but you'll see it's still really easy. I just sold that guy. And then I'll show you here, I loot his head right here, and then it'll go, I'll put it in the bag in a moment. And then you hit combine, and then it'll create you a new bag. Now what you do is you run over to the NPC guy, and you'll see him running all the way over here now. And once you get there, it's this Turtani guy. He's going to give you another item, and then you use this item to trigger the next fight. So we're down here, we're turning in the item to this guy. Again, he gives you a bag. This is the third fight here. And pretty much the first 5 fights in this are really easy. After that, I think one of them might be kind of like a mini raid boss. So you may want to bring a few groups over here in Arrow. So once you, if you want to do all of these at once, then you can, have everyone ready there to help you, and you can just knock the whole thing out, in like 30 minutes or whatever. And you'll see here, I kill him, and then I'm going to loot his head. And it's not in my it didn't go directly to my bag, so I search for it. Put the head in the bag, hit combine. And you'll see there, it actually doesn't work. So I'm trying to figure out why isn't it working. Well, on the third event, there's actually a second boss. So we kill the second boss here. And this guy, again, is really easy. You see I'm just like soloing him, and he's losing health. He's a light blue. So again, this third fight is real easy, and then I actually end up killing him, and then he drops a head. So then at this point, for the third fight, there's actually 2 heads you have to put in the bag. I hit combine, and then I get the bag here. And then again, I go back to this guy, turn the bag in. He gives me an item right here in my inventory, and then I'll use this to trigger the next event again. Now, after this fight, I'm going to crop all that running back and forth out just so you guys can see only the boss fights, now that you have an idea of like what generally you need to do. And this is the 4th fight here. This guy's really easy, and it freezes up a little bit here. I think when I windowed out, it like didn't run right because the window went to the background. But with the 4th fight here, I take the ogre head from the boss. And I don't know if there's a second boss in this one or not. No, there's not. So I just combine it. Then I went back to the NPC. Came back. Here we go. We got the next item. So now we're on the 5th fight. And then we just wait around for the bosses to spawn. Here's the first boss. Now I think this one, there might be a golem on each side of the arena here. And again, this golem is really easy for the 5th fight. I think there's probably 2 of them. So you'll see me attacking it here. He's dead. Boom. Loot his head. Oh, okay, so there's only 1 in the 5th fight. So here's the 6th fight right here. Now this one I think had 2 golems. This might have been the 2 golem one. Now the difficulty will go up a little bit once you start hitting the 6th fight, but this again was really easy. I don't know if there's like any mechanics that really make it super hard at any point. Honestly, I think because the zone this is in, most of this stuff is going to be real trivial. So here's the 2nd boss of the 6th fight. So we kill him. This one needs 2 heads, and it froze a little bit again there. It's not you. It's just my video. And there you go. He's dead. Take the 2nd one. And then here's the 7th fight. There's going to be 2 golems for this, and there's also a little worm guy, whatever those are called. And you kill all 3 of those. Maybe there's 4, or that's a pet. I think this Boreal guy is actually a pet. So you'll see here, I'm taking all 3 of these at once on my 70 warrior. Now I am getting like healed from a merc, but they're really not hitting for that much. I think on average they're hitting me for, I think I see all 620 in there, but mostly it's like around the 200s if you have a decent gear. So I can't imagine any of this is really that hard. So now we're on the 8th fight. And I don't remember this one. Okay, so I think there's 3 bosses in this one. Now this one, it does ramp up a little bit in difficulty. This guy here is level 65, but again, you see I'm just kind of soloing him. So maybe it's not really that hard at all. I just run my bard over once I see I'm just kind of soloing him anyway, just to speed it up. And it looks like this Divax guy, he actually like ported behind me. I think he did it twice. But there's 2 guys here to kill. And again, we're still on the 8th fight, so there were like 3 of these guys total. And again, I'm kind of just soloing them here, so maybe it's just not that hard. You might be able to do all of this with like a group, maybe 2 max. Like probably a group would be fine, I'd imagine. Yeah, so you see here he ported behind me again, so that's kind of one mechanic he's got. But other than that, I didn't really notice any major mechanics, and you know, he doesn't have a lot of health, so I just loot all 3 of these heads. Go back, turn in. Here's the 9th fight right here. And this is only a 2-slot badge, so it's probably either 1 or 2 bosses. I think 9th was probably, I think this was the hardest of all of them, I believe. Now this guy is kind of a raid bossish guy. I am still doing some decent damage to him just by myself. Let's see, it says this creature would take an army to defeat, so I guess technically it's a raid boss, but it's probably like a really low level one. But yeah, he does have some health here, but I just kill him with my bard once I see he's just not really doing that much anyway. So it's just the one guy for fight number 9. Then here we are, fight number 10, we're on the last one. And this one I believe was 5 or 6 bosses on this. There's like a couple that come out each side here, so you'll see a couple over there. There's one near me right here, so we're just killing him. And again, he's just light blue, so you might be able to do this whole thing with a group. Like because of fight number 9, maybe you need 2 groups for that. I'm not sure, but yeah, it just seemed pretty easy here. If you got like actual people playing, especially, I can imagine you're not boxing it. I can imagine it's probably really easy. So yeah, that's pretty much all the fights here, and hopefully this at least gives you an idea of, you know, what it's going to be like when you actually do this and what to look for so you don't mess it up. But yeah, here's 2 more bosses for fight number 10. Let's see here, we'll attack him, and again, I'm just taking his HP away really quick. He doesn't seem to have a lot of health. He doesn't con as a raid boss or anything, so fight number 9 might be the hardest of them all, would be my guess. But these guys might have some other mechanics I'm not aware of, because I really just instant killed them. But you know, I'm just attacking them and then seeing what they do real briefly, and then I kill it. So anyways, after you do all 10 here, we're gonna end up back at the final NPC, and we'll show the final turn-in just so you can see what you're supposed to end up with. And again, this is on the website, so you'll see I turn in the final satchel, and then he gives me this sash of Yunjo's champion or whatever that said, and he gives you a note, and that note you're going to use for the next turn-in the quest. So that's pretty much everything. I hope this was helpful, and I hope I was looking sexy for you in this video too. But please make sure to like the video and please subscribe. All right, thanks guys. Bye.